upgrading the Jace Arcane Strategist Planeswalker deck. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos Magic Fan. I've got a new Planeswalker deck upgrade video for you. We're going to upgrade Jace Arcane Strategist from the latest War of the Spark expansion set. Thank you so much for contributing to my Patreon. It really means a lot to me. It keeps me funded. It keeps me motivated. Thank you so much. On with the video. Now, first of all, my upgrades focus on beginning to intermediate players. Plus, I focus on common and uncommon cards, because this is also a budget upgrade. As we all know, the more money you spend, the more you can upgrade. And if you go through all the cards and all the history on Magic, you can even upgrade it even more. But I'm sticking with War of the Spark cards at common and uncommon, although I will mention possible bigger money upgrades. Alright, so this deck is a Jace Planeswalker deck. What's interesting that it's Simic. It's blue and green cards, which you usually don't associate with Jace. But let's see what this deck is all about. So the crown jewel is this Planeswalker deck, so shiny. 6 mana, you get a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. +1, draw a card. Okay, nice. -7, creatures you control cannot be blocked. Okay, so that +1 is really nice. It can make something stronger and stronger. This deck actually focuses on a lot of counters and proliferate. So let's see what else we've got. We have a second Planeswalker in the deck, Kiora, Behemoth, Beckoner. So for 3 mana, 2 and a Simic mana, you get a 7 loyalty Planeswalker. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Okay, so we've got a few big creatures that will really help to draw those cards. But the minus ability actually is a really cool ability. It gives your creatures pseudo vigilance, but better yet, it helps you ramp because you can tap mana and then minus your Planeswalker up to 7 times and then untap that land. So this is kind of cool as well. The deck comes with 4 Simic Guildgates for your hybrid mana, okay, and it comes with 10 islands, that's fine, but it comes with 11 forests. So first of all, I'm going to remove 1 forest to add a Pollenbright Druid to get the full play set. For 2 mana, you get an Elf Druid. When it comes into the battlefield, choose one of these. Put a 1/1 counter on any creature, so itself, it can come in as a 2/2 or give +1 to something else. Or proliferate. This is the star mechanic of this deck. Choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. So if you brought this druid and gave a +1 to this druid, and then brought a new druid out, you can choose to proliferate so that it got another counter. We'll see how proliferate works well as we go through the deck. So for example, the Courage in Crisis. I'm keeping this one, 3 mana, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, then proliferate. So basically you're putting a +2/+2 on things. Nice. I've got the deck comes with 3 Bloom Hulks, which is a 4 mana 4/4, which proliferates. But I'm going to make it a full play set, adding 4, by removing 1 of the Wardscale Crocodile. It's a nice big old creature, but I'm only going to keep 1 of them, because actually I'm not going to do too much of a focus on the really big creatures. 5/3 hexproof, that's nice. The other big creature is a Primordial Wurm. It's 7/6, okay, but you need a lot of mana to get to it. Over here as another big creature, we have Kiora's Dambreaker. This one proliferates, plus a 5/6 creature. So Kiora will like that, or your Worm, or the Croc. Okay, well, in order to get higher in order to get closer to those big creatures, we're keeping the New Horizon, which puts a +1 counter on a creature, so that'll work with the Proliferate, and then you get a land that taps for 2 mana of any one color. The deck comes with 2 band together, which I'm going to remove instead for 2 Callous Dismissal. A common card, Sorcery, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand and then amass 1. So, a sub-theme of the deck is to make a few zombie armies. These are 0/0 black creatures that get +1 counters by how much you amass. Oh, wait a minute. The Pollenbright Druid will help it as well. The Courage in Crisis will help it as well. The Dambreaker will help it. So if you start to make any sort of army, you'll be able to make it even bigger and bigger. Plus, this is some good disruption or removal for your opponent's stuff. It returns whatever they just cast back to their hand. Okay, I like that so much that I'm also going to take out both of the stealth missions and add 2 more of the dismissal. So 4 in total to be able to amass and disrupt. The deck comes with 4 of the exclusive cards, Guildpact Informant. It's a 1/1 for 3 mana, flying. When it deals damage to a player, Planeswalker Proliferate. That's cool. That's a lot of mana to get there, and it has to deal damage. So I'm going to take out 2 of that exclusive card and instead put 2 of these Evolution Sages. Kind of hard to say. Evolution Sages. There we go. Got it the second time. 3 mana, you get a 3/2. With an ability here, when a land enters the battlefield under your control, Proliferate. So they're not calling it Landfall, this is what would have been called back in the old days. But when you play a new land, you Proliferate. So this little guy can help you +1 so many things. It's amazing. It is uncommon, not that valuable, or expensive that is, but valuable in the deck. Okay, this is interesting over here. 3 more exclusives. Jace's Projection. I'm going to keep 1 of them, or 2 of them, and take out 1. And what this does is whenever you draw a card, put a counter on it. Pay 4 to put a loyalty counter on your Jace. Okay, I'm going to keep only 2 of them. It requires double blue mana. And I'm going to remove also the Jace's Triumph, because from that 1 remove there, plus the Triumph, instead I'm going to add some Thunder Drakes. 4 casting costs for a 2/3 that can get bigger and bigger. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1. So flying is going to be good, great art, cool creature that can get stronger and stronger as you play your second spell of the game, of your turn. So that would be, a sorcery, an instant, or a creature. Creatures are spells as well, don't forget. Or what if you summon another Thunder Drake? So that'll get bigger. The last exclusive card is Jace's Ruse. 2 of them. I'm going to keep them both. It's kind of a lot of, devotion to blue. But what this is return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand. You may search your library for a Jace, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Okay, so it removes 2 things that are causing you problems and gets you your Jace. So I'm going to keep those. Those are the exclusive. Then we've got the Merfolk Skydiver. Pretty cool creature. Only 2 mana for a 1/1 flying. When it enters, put a 1/1 counter on a creature like itself or something else like your army. And then Proliferate. Once you've got 5 mana, you'll be able to start proliferating better and better. So I'm going to keep those. And then one of my other favorite things in the deck right here, this is like devastating. It only comes with 1 in the deck, but this is the Bioessence Hydra, 5 mana, 4/4. Trample. Bioessence Hydra enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it for each loyalty counter on Planeswalkers you control. So if you summoned your Jace and was +1ing him, this comes with a +5/+5 or a +4/+4. That's a 9/9. And then, whenever 1 or more loyalty counters is put on a Planeswalker, put that many +1. So it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. I've seen this become very devastating on Magic Arena, and now you can make it devastate your opponent. So definitely keeping that in the deck. All right, patrons, let's look at the sideboard. Okay, I got some more removal here, just in case your opponents are a little bit more creature heavy. I have 2 Kasmina's Transmutation. Enchant creature, it loses all abilities and becomes a 1/1. Now be careful here, don't do this on an amassed army, because it'll actually make it stronger. Technically, an army is a 0/0, so this is going to turn it into a 1/1. But other things, like if they have their own Dambreaker, whoops, it's a 1/1 fish. So we're done. Okay, then we've got 2 No Escapes. This is a counter spell. So the deck right now doesn't have a lot of counter spells. It's a blue deck. What's up with that? So counter target creature or planeswalker, and then it gets exiled, that card. Plus you scry 1. So if you need to kind of remove your opponent's threats earlier, perhaps you want the No Escape. Next, we've got 2 copies of Crush Dissent. This is another counter spell. It's 4 mana, and when they try to cast their big spell, you can crush the Dissent, and they have to pay 2 more, which they probably can't afford, and they counter it. Now, in addition to that, even if they do pay the 2, what's this? Amass 2. So you're going to get a zombie army getting stronger and stronger, even if your counterspell doesn't work. Moving on over here, Return to Nature. So I have 4 of these, and this is to either destroy an artifact or an enchantment, or return a card from the graveyard. Very nice, a very great modal card. So that's in the sideboard. And lastly, Forced Landing. This is to deal with pesky flyers. It's kind of fun how you do it, actually. At instant speed, put target creature with flying on the bottom of its owner's library. So you send it back to the library. Pretty fun. How about some Planeswalker upgrades? Now this is really interesting, this set. So many Planeswalkers, so many opportunities to add Planeswalkers to your deck, such as Ashiok. Okay, he is Dimir mana, so either blue or black. Hey, this deck has blue mana, so it'll work here. You get a 5 loyalty Planeswalker. Spells and abilities your opponents control cannot cause their controller to search their libraries. So their card searching will be locked down. -1. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard, then exile that library. So it really takes care of library shenanigans from your opponent. Plus, you should be able to do it at least 4 times if you're able to protect Ashiok. You can mill them. What's that? 4 times 4? 16 cards right out of their deck. Pretty brutal. How about 2 of them to make sure you grab it? Next up, Kasmina, Enigmatic Mentor. 4 mana, 5 casting cost. Spells your opponents cast that target a creature or planeswalker you control cost 2 more. Ooh, I like that. All of your creatures and things and planeswalkers will be protected by an outlay of 2 more mana. -2. Create a 2/2 blue wizard creature token, then draw a card, then discard a card. So it lets you loot. It lets you filter through your library a little bit more, plus you get a 2/2 to protect her or do other fun stuff. So maybe 2 of those. Okay, we've got Samut, Tyrant Smasher. Wait a minute, she's Gruul mana. Yes, so you have green mana in this deck, so you can summon Samut. 5 loyalty. Creatures you control have haste. Okay, so Kiora's Dambreaker is ready to break that dam right away if Samut is on the field. -1. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn plus scry. Okay, that's fun. So make something bigger and bigger plus haste with only a -1. Got a couple of her. And we have Saheeli, Sublime Artificer. So again, right here we have blue mana for her. She comes in as a 5 loyalty. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact. We've got some non-creature spells, so you'll be making some servos. Interestingly then, -2. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. So imagining copying your 1/1 to become another Dambreaker. Amazing. As for the big money upgrades, how about another Bioessence Hydra? I love this little guy. It's just going to get so big, so crazy with your planeswalkers. If you can get another one of these rare cards, try putting it in the deck. And so what about an Ugin the Ineffable? Your opponent will not be able to F with you with this 6 casting cost, colorless Planeswalker, 4 loyalty. Colorless spells you cast cost 2. Okay, that's not too relevant, but what about this? +1. Exile the top card of your library, face down, and look at it. Create a 2/2 colorless spirit. When that creature leaves the battlefield, however it does, put that exile card to your hand. So you're going to get card draw and creatures. Nice. -3, destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colors. So why didn't they just say destroy target colorless permanent? Anyway, so it lets you destroy creatures. This is getting up in a little bit of price there, so if you've got the money for it, Ugin might be part of your squad. Lastly, I don't have the example to show you, sorry, so let's look at a squirrel. Karn's Bastion, the rare land that lets you proliferate. Proliferate permanently, it's a land, unless they have, demolish or something. You'll be able to proliferate so many things. I wish I could show it to you. I don't have it as part of this video, sorry, so enjoy this squirrel. So there you go, dear patron. This is the exclusive version of the upgrade video. I hope you like it. Give me some comments down below, some suggestions. How would you improve the deck? What could I add or remove or do a little bit differently? Remember, I'm trying to do commons and uncommons as the main change, plus War of the Spark only. But if you've got some cool changes, upgrades from other sets out of the rarities and stuff, let me know in the comments. I appreciate that. And once again, I appreciate you for being a loyal patron. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you next time.